Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here. Welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here. I am glad to be here. For this week's Go Big, I'm going to go back in memory and is this a big enough moment? A big enough moment. And what was that moment? Several years ago, when my two boys were pretty young, we had the opportunity to sit in the front row of a Utah Jazz Chicago Bulls game. Michael Jordan, John Stockton, Karl Malone. Yeah, right in the front row. And everything's coming at us because we're underneath the basket. And so one play in particular sticks out. Michael Jordan's coming full speed towards us. John Stockton standing there to take a charge. Michael Jordan goes up and over, slams it down, comes down backpedaling. My youngest son looks at him and goes, "Pick on somebody your own size." Michael Jordan kind of nodded at him and just kept going. Wasn't too long. Same play. Michael Jordan is coming down, but this time, 6'11", Michael Turpin is standing in his way. Michael goes up and then up again, and he comes down and rams it home. Signature, tongue hanging out like Michael Jordan did, landed on his feet, looked over to find my son and said, "Is he big enough?" With a grin on his face. Was he competitive? Probably one of the most competitive people you'll ever want to run into, ever. What brought that on? That was brought on by his older brother. Guess what his name was? Larry. There is a leather Larry in Michael Jordan's life, okay? So Larry Jordan, all right, getting my name straight, was only 5'8". He was his older brother. He played like a giant. He could do a double pump, reverse slam dunk. He could shoot the 3 points from anywhere on the court. He dribbled like a Harlem Globetrotter. I mean, he just had everything. Rebounded, and all the college scouts were drooling over him. But his youngest brother, scrawny, skinnier, not as tall, coach at the high school thought, well, maybe this kid can play. So he said, invite your younger brother to come out. Well, his younger brother came out and totally disappointed the coach. So what was Michael doing all of that time? How did he take that failure? He worked harder, and guess who he worked harder with? He competed with his brother Larry every day, every day. And Larry would not let him win. He beat him at horse, beat him at one-on-one. But Michael wanted to win, just kept playing. In fact, Michael himself said that inch for inch, Larry was the best player. To this day, he said he's probably the best player inch for inch of anybody he's played against. So here's the greatest basketball player in history in his own house that's saying that somebody else was even greater than him. All right, let's fast forward. What do we know about Michael Jordan? Okay. Started out as smaller than 5'8", grew to 6'6". That had a lot to do it. Was cut from the team. 6 NBA championships, 5 MVPs. And he's really known as the global icon of greatness, isn't he? I mean, it's all around the world. But listen to his own words. Listen to this, okay? How many shots do you think Michael Jordan missed in his career? Over 9,000 shots he missed. He said, I've lost over 300 games. 26 times I've been called upon to make the winning shot, and I missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life. And guess what? That is why I succeed. You see, Michael didn't become great by avoiding failure. He became great by learning from it. He failed his way to greatness. And just maybe it started with losing to Larry in the driveway. So what if failure isn't something that we fear? Maybe it's something we thank. It didn't happen to me. This happened for me. What if people who challenge you are actually giving you a gift? And I don't mean just a lesson in humility, but a spark that ignites your best self. You see, Larry Jordan never made it in the NBA because of his size, but he did go to college on a college scholarship. But in a very real way, he helped create the one who became the GOAT. 2 empowering questions now. First one, who's your Larry? Who's your Larry? Who pushes you to stretch further, dig deeper, and become even better? Who's your Larry? And then second question, who's watching you right now? Who are you a Larry to? Who are you a hero to? Is someone out there treating you as their Larry, their standard, their spark? You know they are. So here's the quote of the day. and this is paraphrasing Michael Jordan. You don't become great in spite of failure. You become great through it. You don't become great in spite of failure. You become great through it. So sit back and ask yourself this week, who's my Larry and who am I Larry to? I promise if you'll do that, you will be inspired to become even greater. Have a meaningful week, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Bye-bye.